Coach, it felt from that first period like both teams kind of knocking the rust off a little bit, feeling each other out a little bit, that maybe that first goal would be even more meaningful than normal. They end up getting kind of two in short succession. What did you see there in that kind of swing?
Yeah, we seem to have a lot more rust than they did. I thought they had a great first period. They came out skating and putting pressure on us all over the ice, which is what we expected. We just had no answer for them. We weren't ready to play, which is my responsibility. I thought we answered a little bit in the second, Tim. Unfortunately, didn't have any puck luck, which we didn't earn by coming out of the gate so poorly. But the first period, I definitely thought was we looked a lot more rusty than they did, and it was competition. It was intensity. It was being ready to play, and we weren't, and they were.
Yeah, the power play in the third period down 3-1. Felt like you manufactured some good chances there, unable to score. I know that's kind of been something we talked about of looking for that power play to break through, but it seemed like that was a decent opportunity there in the third.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. The power play could have got us going in the first period too. We scored a goal in the power play in the first period. All of a sudden, we've got a little momentum, and we feel like we're playing okay, even though we weren't. But the power play in the third period, I agree with you. We had some chances, but Tim, it's one of those things where you just can't turn the light switch on and expect to get the bounces, expect good things to happen if you're not ready to play. And we weren't ready to play, and we got exactly what we deserved, and so did they.
3 penalties called against your team kind of late, but in general, one of the things you've done really well over the last month and a half is staying out of the penalty box. I think it's 7 straight games with 6 or fewer penalty minutes. What have you seen from your team, just kind of from a discipline perspective, over maybe not just tonight, but the longer run?
Yeah, I agree. I think we've been more disciplined with our actions this year. There was, you and I saw last year 6 and 7 penalties sometimes in games. That's just ridiculous and not acceptable. And I think we've done a better job of being disciplined with our actions. And I think the stats will say we gave up a power play goal tonight, but we pulled the goaltender. So I not only have we taken less penalties, but I like the way generally that we've killed penalties. But the disappointing part of our special teams is not the penalty kill. It's definitely our power play, and we got to get it right.
It did seem like your defense pretty active flying around. I think Simonovic had 4 blocks tonight. Radquist 5 shots on goal or something like that. Well, what did you kind of see from that group through the course of the game?
Well, the group started poor. I mean, our decor in the first period was not good at all. And then what happens is you're down 2-0 and then 3-0, and you start to press. And I think that's what it was. No, I'm not saying Hampus and Rehards were bad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying our decor as a whole was not good in the first period, and we spent way too much time in our own zone because of it. And I think what you saw was us trying to press a little bit and trying to get back in the game.
And how do you carry that forward, kind of that intensity for that last 30 minutes or so into tomorrow?
Well, it's one of those things that I can go in there and yell and scream and try to create intensity, but it has to be within the individual. I'm hoping they're having a conversation right now as a team in the dressing room to say that can't happen. There's going to be nights where things don't go your way, but it can't be because you're not ready to play. The intensity's not there. The compete level's not there. And like I said, that responsibility is mine. But we can't manufacture it. We're not the ones out there on the ice. So I'm hoping that the last, probably the better part of the last 40 minutes, that intensity, that energy level, that compete level shows up tomorrow.
Game 2, 5 o'clock Saturday. Coach, thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tim. Have a good night.